Hey everyone, this week I decided to try something different. It's actually raining outside, and this is a pretty up-close view of me because if I step any further back, I don't think you'd be able to hear me. But this week again started on Wednesday with me going into the office, and I actually had to walk out during the day to actually get some money from someone who was donating it towards an event that missionary was having on the border of Madhya Pradesh and Maharashtra, and this is a really big event where a whole bunch of Christians were getting together. In fact, after that, when I got back to the office, I had another person, a young person, come in and talk to me about his plans to start a business off and how he needed capital, and we were just talking about the different things. And he has an idea, but he doesn't really have a plan. But it was great talking with him, and in fact, he came and had lunch at the office. Later on in the day, I actually went and picked up Saida. Saida is the lady from Sri Lanka. She was actually heading back to Canada that evening, and I went and picked her up, and then we went and grabbed some pizza, and then went for the Bible study at Pastor's place. On Thursday, the convention actually started on the border of Madhya Pradesh and Maharashtra, where Missionary Lal Singh works, and in fact later on we came to know that about 700 people attended each day, and about 300 people recommitted and committed their lives to the Lord. In fact, I actually met up with Gavin that morning for a while, and then I went to the office, and then I had a meeting in the evening at Pastor's place, and this was with the new guy Neela, who's going to be coming in as the assistant pastor, or the pastor actually, and the pastor actually becomes the senior pastor. But we had a really great time over there in Pastor's place, just brainstorming and going through a number of ideas of things we can do and things we can implement over the next few months in the church, and we actually had dinner together. Friday was a good day, except for the fact that I got a call from the passport guy saying that I needed to fill up another form and submit more photographs for my passport. So that's again another long drawn process, but anyway, that shouldn't be too hard to take care of. In fact, that morning I was helping some people meet the landlord and just go over the paperwork and things like that. I actually started thinking about what to put into the newsletter. That was one of the things we discussed about doing a newsletter. And that evening I actually had dinner with Gavin and his fiance and aunt and a whole load of people from the Chinese embassy. So that was a great dinner, and the food was really good, and I've never eaten shrimp the way they had prepared it at the restaurant that day. In fact, I've been to the restaurant a number of times, but I've never eaten shrimp that way. Saturday we actually had practice in the morning, and missionaries came in, so I finished off practice as soon as possible and left to the office to meet the missionaries, and got a few of the stories and found out, trying to filter out things to put into the newsletter. And after that I actually went to the school with Sailaja, who works with us, and we set up the stage and all the instruments and the chairs and everything. And for some reason that day I think we took extra long because I was trying to set up some monitors, but that didn't work out too well, and I ended up getting home at about 4:30 or so, and ended up having lunch only at about 5. So I was pretty pooped the rest of the time. Sunday morning church was good, and it was the first Sunday of the month, so we had communion, and this was the first time I think Pastor called Neela and myself up, and we actually helped out with the communion. And there was a lady there by the name of Lindy, and this is something that you can pray about. She's actually in the process of adopting some kids, and she's had these kids with her. One of them she's had since the day he was born, and she's actually in the process of getting paperwork done and all, and needs a lot of prayer because government rules state that you cannot choose who you adopt, but we know that these kids call her mom, and she's in touch with the authorities and everyone, so we just pray that the paperwork goes through. And she actually shared her story with the church, and it was a really touching story, and it saddens you when you see people trying to do good and just have such a heart for people that ordinarily would not be taken care of. And these kids, there's 3 of them, and they all call her mom, and it was just a really touching story that morning. After service, I actually went to someone's house for lunch, and then that afternoon we had youth, and we watched the movie Pilgrim's Progress: A Journey to Heaven, and that was really good. It's so much better than reading the book. I I know the book is about 415 pages, and it's written as a huge allegory, and pretty hard to decipher, but it was really great, and I think the kids understood it and enjoyed it. But it started raining, and while we were watching the movie, suddenly there was water came into the room, and this was the pastor's place, so we had to stop the movie and actually mop up the floors. But we managed to finish off the movie, and the kids got home safe, so that was great. Monday morning, I actually had a friend and her cousin who works as part of the radar with the army, and they came in for breakfast. And that afternoon, after they left, I actually had lunch with Chris, and this was the last week that Chris was going to be in town. I also managed to pay off a few bills later on in the evening, and went for a walk, and it actually started raining a bit lighter than what it is today, but it was just great. And then I used the rest of the night to sort of prepare for CNC, where we were. I was looking at a character of the widow at Zarephath, and that was a really interesting character that came up. And in fact, you can even look at her son and Elijah. But the next morning, I actually had a meeting with Neelav, and Neelav and I sat down and went through a whole lot of things, and then finished that off. And I started cooking dinner for CNC, and then finished my preparation. But CNC went well, and we had a really blessed time. And we looked at the widow because the next Sunday was supposed to be Mother's Day, so that was really great. Anyway, I pray you have a great week, and enjoy yourselves, and I hope that it rains and cools down like it is today. It's nice and cool, and there's a lot of thunder and lightning, and it's really nice to have this kind of change in weather, especially after the heat that's been going on here. So have a blessed week, and God bless.